Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. With me once again, I have the Putty Man. The Putty Man is here, and below me, we have the man who reviews TV shows, movies, and wrestling. Campo, RLG Cast. You know what they are. You know where their links are. They're going to be in the description below. Go on and follow these guys if you don't already. You get to see more of us. And what more could you ask for that? Give everybody here a sub, and that'll help us all out.
How about you just sub to mostly Johnny Donald 777?
Sub to everybody. Don't worry.
The button's below.
Yeah, it's a little, and do the little thumbs up. That helps a lot too. So the other night was Night of Champions from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and let's get right into it. So the show starts off. The main event, it should have been a main event, which was Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the brand new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I was looking into this. It is a brand new title, and there is no lineage behind it.
Okay, so I find that odd because like 2 days before this event, every single website was reporting that Triple H said it will continue the lineage of the belt.
Of which one? The big gold one?
Yeah. But as you said, if you look it up, there's nowhere says that. So I'm very confused at what's happening. At least right now, we don't know. I'll leave it at that because it's very confusing. But you are correct.
Yeah, so apparently there is no lineage, but
also, I mean, it doesn't really need it. Like, who cares? I think.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of bringing back belts. If you got rid of the belt, it should just be gone forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why Roman Reigns is still walking around with both belts.
Yeah, well, that's a story for another day. Also, we'll get into this more later, but I don't understand the 3 main events logic because every single one of these matches is a title match, so they all should be main events.
Yeah.
Except Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, which
shouldn't have been it. I think, in all honesty, that should have been the opener.
Yeah, that would have been a fine opener.
Mm-hmm. And I would have preferred that as the opener, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
I would have went with that and then followed immediately by the Rhea Ripley match.
Yes. Which I'll explain my thoughts behind that and from what I understand what happened there. But what'd you guys think of this match? It was a little slow paced to begin with.
It was very Japanese.
Yeah.
It was quite long.
One of the longer ones, at least.
Every single match on this entire card was long, in my opinion. Except for WWE, every single match was long.
Yeah, that's true.
Except still,
yeah. Well, but we'll wait till we get there before we talk.
Yeah, this was 20 minutes long.
It got really good in the second half of the match.
Yeah,
the first half it was a little bit like weirdly paced. I was kind of confused what was happening.
It's funny. At least I would say at least every match, except maybe considering one, had some kind of insane not botch or like just over the top trying to look severity. Like for example, when Seth Rollins hit the side of the ring, that whole hit.
Yeah,
it feels like there was a lot of those. Like, hey, we got to make one move that looks like it's a severe hit to the opponent, whoever might take it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to call attention to the jumping out of the ring.
Yeah.
I don't think he got injured, but I do think he got hurt, and I don't think that was planned because you could see AJ Styles wasn't even looking at him, but then as they got back in the ring, they're like, "Oh, AJ Styles saw that he landed awkwardly." No, he didn't. He wasn't even looking at him.
Yeah, and they were playing off the injury.
It was smart.
Which is very smart, and the reason being, I think this was also the opening match because he and Becky were flying out right after the match back to the US because of Captain America. They're still filming.
And that's fine. I have no issues with that. I think this match was good.
Yeah.
One of the right better matches we've seen. Yeah,
the right
of
person
course.
Won.
When they were really towards the end hinting at AJ Styles winning when they were playing up the injury, I thought, oh crap, they faked this injury so that he could lose the match and look good still. But then I realized later that when they showed the replay, I'm like, no, there's no way AJ Styles knew he hurt his leg.
Yeah. So, but Seth won. Seth is your brand new WWE World Heavy first ever. So this is the second,
that's what you want.
But this is the second time he's the first ever champion. He was the first ever NXT champion too.
Hey,
and that's the horse.
Rollins.
And that's the horse Triple H is putting the cart behind. And that's the guy who's going to carry your company. By Seth winning the belt first as opposed to Cody, it at least adds a little bit more value to the championship than basically if Cody won this belt right away, it'd be like, oh, you're just giving this to Cody as a consolation prize because of, right?
I don't
This-
know if it adds more value to the belt. It adds more value to Seth Rollins because now on his thing, it's going to say first ever or first ever when it comes back, however it goes.
Yeah.
But I do think that the reason they let him win this and be the first ever is because they are going to take it off him very fast. And
Yeah,
they just
probably
wanted
Money
to
in the
give
Bank.
him, they just wanted to have a little bit of shine on him and let him get the clout of being first ever. And then he's going to lose the belt now.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Either Cody Rhodes or I don't know, maybe Gunther.
No, I think Gunther, they're going a little bit longer. Gunther has like 3 months until he becomes the all-time leader for
Two
the IC.
championships.
You think that they're doing this to get rid of double belting Roman, and they're going to do that?
But they don't. This is the thing. You're under the impression that they're upset about the double belting Roman. They don't feel how we do. They're very happy about Roman holding these belts for the next 25 years. Like, you know what I mean? They don't feel how we do. So they'll double belt a lot of
But
people.
there's so many.
We thought they were going to win we thought tonight there was potential of tag team belts moving as well. So let's not.
That meme with Roman with all the belts was closer to coming true.
Yeah.
But
so
what
that
happened?
is what that is.
But there's more potential feuds for Seth because Seth plays the dual role. He's kind of not a baby face. So like there's Shinsuke, there's Gunther, there's who else? You have Drew McIntyre in the picture because apparently he's coming back. Who else do you have? You have Finn Balor.
That's possible because I could see Drew winning the belt, and then later down the road he feuds with Cody because they used to be tag partners, right?
Yeah.
So you can start that whole thing where you have a feud built in right there.
Yeah. So yeah, there's many ways you can go.
Shinsuke's never gonna get it because they don't like him. So
Trips does.
We'll see.
As long as Vince dies within the next 12 months, we're okay.
Okay.
I don't wish death on anyone. But Seth didn't do his usual thing when he wins the belt and spins it around.
Yeah, no spinning.
No spinning. Next we go to our next match, which was the only one of two non-title matches, which was Trish versus Becky Lynch in a grudge match.
Like I didn't understand why this match existed, and I'll be honest, I was excited to see Trish Stratus because I mean she still looks good, but like, God, it feels like there were so many botches in this match. Like
every botch in this match was Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
even though she's still better than Lita.
Putty's gonna have a different opinion because Putty doesn't consistently watch as much as we do.
Yeah,
but for me, this was a pretty good match. I was very surprised by this match because I thought it would go a lot worse than this. The last couple Becky Lynch matches have not been great.
But then again, the last couple Becky Lynch matches have also had Lita, and Lita wasn't that great in those
true.
Matches.
And she's been apparently like kind of hurt. So
yeah,
but
they went all out.
This is the best match I've ever seen Trish wrestle ever, like literally ever.
Yeah. Trish did really well.
I could not believe how competent. Have you ever seen a Trish Stratus match? They're not good.
Well, yeah, I know she's not good at all in general, but I figured. I mean, I feel like she botched a lot more tonight than she's ever done before.
But I don't know, man. The botches here were pretty small compared to that. The biggest one, the biggest botch of the night
was that over the rope one.
Okay, no, that's not even what I'm saying. You're not even ready for this. Then there was a double botch where Trish Stratus forgot to kick out, and at the same time, Becky Lynch let go of her for some reason.
Yes, and the ref stopped counting.
So Becky Lynch didn't even know Trish wasn't going to kick out, but just let go of her for some reason, and then Trish also didn't kick out. So I was like, "What the hell?" We rewound it like 5 times.
Yeah,
but I think the way Trish did a lot of off the top rope stuff. Did you notice that she kept going up the ropes? And
that's my whole point.
She's like 49.
Yeah,
like when she was trying to do that Frankensteiner in the corner, you know, what she was trying to do it on the ropes, like that was so bad. Yeah, thank you. When she was trying to do the Stratisfaction, it was so botched in that corner where Becky Lynch had to like throw herself off of it to hopefully like make it look good. Like it was like one of those. I'm like, dude, that looks so horrible, and the camera angle literally.
Listen, I appreciate your feelings on this. I truly do, because I would have said the same thing, but. Like knowing how bad this match could have been,
this is actually pretty good.
This is a pretty good match.
Yeah,
it went on way too long though.
Yeah, again, 15 minutes. This match way too long.
This is the only match I think I will point the finger at and say it was too long.
Yeah,
because Because we never get 8 matches on a WWE card, or I think it was 8, right?
7.
Okay, well,
That's usually
it's usually 5.
5, yeah, 6,
maybe 6. Okay, so we got 7 matches, and all of them were long matches. I was very happy as a wrestling fan. You're not going to bother me with that.
Yeah. And then Trish goes over, so this feud is continuing.
Well, we have that one lady that came in too underneath the ring.
Yeah, Zoe Stark.
Yeah,
and they're gonna form another. So as Damage Control is breaking up, we're gonna form a new heel faction. It's gonna be Trish, Zoe, and maybe somebody else.
It's Trish, Zoe, but they're gonna feud with Lita and Becky.
I think they're gonna add a third person because then when Trish leaves, Zoe can go with that person.
Yeah, but maybe they're waiting for Indy to come back.
It could be.
So, but yeah, and it's good, also good for Zoe Stark, even though she's not in the title picture. This puts her with main eventers immediately.
WWE took a page out of AEW's book finally, where it's like you take a veteran wrestler and you put them with an up and coming person that you think is going to be a star,
and it automatically puts Zoe into the main event picture
where she belongs.
Zoe was the most talented woman in NXT.
And didn't even win a title.
Yeah, well, same thing with Bel-Air. Bel-Air never won a title in NXT.
But Bianca's also now been the heavyweight champion for
over
X
a year.
Amount of times.
Well,
yeah. We'll get into that.
Wow.
But next we go into our match for the IC Championship, Gunter against Mustafa Ali. So Mustafa Ali's a babyface this week?
Yeah, but we knew that.
Because of, we're but I'm going to say this right now. My God, I never paid attention to his selling of like any of his
he's a good seller. He's not that bad of a wrestler.
He's a pretty good wrestler.
Amazing. Like every single bump he took, just like it looked beautiful.
It's very I wouldn't compare him to, but it's very Shawn Michaels-esque type of selling.
Like
overselling without
he also has a Shawn Michaels-esque attitude.
Yeah.
The way that he apparently treats everyone.
But he made Gunther look so good.
The only thing that threw me off was his hair. It was a different color.
Yeah. I don't know. Gunther's so good. He's so unbelievably good. He's probably the best wrestler in WWE right now.
Yeah, I literally put, why is Gunther so good?
This is a thing that I have a problem with. And I have no problem with Mustafa Ali because, like I said, I also truly feel like he's one of the most underrated wrestlers on the WWE roster. However, he is not, nor has he ever been, a main eventer. You have not pushed him almost at all.
No,
but because we're in a Muslim country, you all of a sudden made him fight for the IC title. Like, someone explain how, as a wrestling fan, you're not offended by that. I think it's good to give people what they want. So you're going to a place where people are from, the same like with the Sami Zayn situation. It's his similar culture. So you want to push those. Like when they come to Canada and they put all the Canadians, okay? But you're not going to put literally no-name Canadian wrestler in against Roman Reigns just because you're in Canada. They built up Sami Zayn so much to that point before it happened, right?
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens is kind of a main eventer, so that makes sense. You've been pushing Mustafa Ali down. Now all of a sudden you went to Saudi Arabia and he's fighting for the Intercontinental title. Like, come on. Well, good match though.
It was a really good match.
I'm happy he's there. He deserves this. He deserves better.
But I mean, Mustafa would, like, once they do take this title off of Gunther and he moves to the heavyweight division, I think this would be a good, like, they can build up like the IC belt as more of a cruiserweight division with Ricochet and Mustafa and like Gargano. And
I would genuinely like to see Mustafa Ali get pushed down to NXT and face Carmelo Hayes a couple times. I think those would be
kind of like what they did with Apollo Crews.
Yeah, or like what they did with the New Day.
Yeah,
when they put them down there. I
just
think
give them a little bit of shine.
That'll elevate Carmelo Hayes, and they'll put on probably WWE 3 excellent matches.
Yeah, because our theory is coming up for that later. But next, Gunther wins. Gunther retains. There was no chance. There was a really good near fall, though, after he did that 450 splash. And, like, I legit thought, like, oh, my God, he almost had him there. Like, it was
But we kind of knew there's no way he's going to lose because he's about to hit the days. So, like...
Yeah. So we'll go into our next match, which was Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw, 2 SmackDown stars for the Raw Women's Championship. They're still calling it the Raw Women's.
Yes. And then the Raw Women's Champion will fight SmackDown for the SmackDown title winners. Nothing makes sense in the women's division.
Nope.
That's fine. I don't know if WWE really ever made sense to begin with.
But once this match started, this is the Asuka I've been waiting to see for a long time.
Okay, but listen, do you want to know my thought process for this whole match? Sitting with Danny, friend of the channel.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, I don't care. She has zero chance of winning. Asuka put on a match that we haven't seen in so long. It was vintage Asuka, and
she was phenomenal in this match.
And you know what? Bianca's always good, but I'm sticking with what I said after the last pay-per-view. Bianca hasn't regressed, but she has not grown at all. She's hit like a stale point where it's the same thing every single match.
And it's much the same as I love her, 5, 6. It's always the same 5, 6, 7 moves.
And her hair started to go so fast today. She stopped. She couldn't use it because it looked like it was about to fall off her head.
Yeah, Putty.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that move she does in the corner where she jumps off the corner belt and then behind the opponent.
Yeah, she's clearly waiting, looking at her, waiting for her, like she's calling Asuka towards her.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm like, you do this move every single time, and when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. The second time I saw it, I was like, that's cool. Third time, I'm like, you're still doing that. Now you're still doing that.
But you can do the same moves every match. Like Kenny Omega, you're going to get greatest hits every match. But the difference is he's still, even at his age, growing as a wrestler and adding new things and willing to try new crazier matches to like push the limits of what he can do. A la tonight's, because we're filming on Sunday. Thank God I ordered that pay-per-view already.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm very upset, Fight TV, because your offer for $71 to buy all of the rest of the pay-per-views for the year doesn't exist in Canada. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that.
I went to go buy it and I was so sad. Anyways, yeah. So I think still a really good match.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
I cannot believe the finish.
Yes,
I screamed out loud. There was multiple handshakes.
It was a Muda. It was a Muda finish.
Yeah.
It was a great Muda finish.
They said great Muda too, so shout out to that.
Shout out to that. Well, he just was in the Hall of Fame, so they kind of. But she missed with the mist. But you could see that Asuka's fingers were taped, so she sprays the mist on her hand. And when Bianca picks her up for the KOD, she just rubs all the mist in Bianca's eyes. And like, good on Bianca selling that too. Yeah. And Asuka is now your new Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown.
And you know what? Shout out to the finish to it as well. That kick from the back was like her version of a Shining Wizard. Yeah. So it was like, I was like, okay.
I mean, she's never hid the fact that Muda has always been an influence on her.
But Muda should be everyone's influence. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Agreed. I'm happy for this. This makes me really happy. We got Bianca a little stale, like you were saying, and now it's somebody fresh, somebody new with the championship, and this is looking maybe like a Bianca heel turn.
So, Asuka faced her at Mania and lost, right? And now she won. We're gonna get one more match. Asuka's gonna win again, and then this is where I'm excited for. They're gonna go full Cody Rhodes treatment with Bianca and make her start all the way at the bottom and beat everyone to get back up to the title again. And I'm excited for that. That's what I want. And this time she's gonna have to fight Rhea Ripley. I don't know how the divisions work. I don't know.
No,
anymore.
Because Ripley's on Raw. So
that's right. Okay. But
they're on Raw, so they're going for the SmackDown belt.
Like I said, this is prior to Raw. I'm pretty sure on Raw you're gonna have a title switch.
Now, my thing, what you think Ripley's gonna lose it?
No, I think they're going to give each other the titles and switch the titles.
Oh, okay.
This reminds me when I used to play my Sonic the Hedgehog on my Super Nintendo and my Mario Brothers and my Sega Genesis. You know, that just happened all the time. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The ROM hacks of Mario and Sonic.
Well, there you go. That's what they're doing. They're using ROM hacks
when
it comes to the WWE belts.
But yeah, there's so many different ways they can go. So you think they're going to do a belt swap?
I think so. I think so. It would make sense now that you've established, like, Rhea Ripley's not losing that belt. Sorry, spoilers for coming up, but she's not losing that belt, and we have now got this change, and Asuka's not losing it again until either Bianca makes her run all the way back up or someone else gets pushed into the limelight.
I think there's really nobody on SmackDown because right now you have Rousey and Thing going after.
And they're gonna do tags, and I think that's right. I think it's I don't care if you like them or not, or whether I like them or not. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey need to be the
belts.
women's tag team champion
And just run
for a
roughshod.
long time.
I'm thinking Asuka's holding this till at least Survivor Series.
Yes, if not Mania.
Unless they're going to do a back and forth.
They could. And I'll be okay with that.
Yeah. Just somebody different, somebody fresh. It's at least it's
Asuka
something.
deserves this more than anyone. And I love Bianca. So like you're literally this is like hard for me to even talk about this, but I'm just
but like you said, Bianca's kind of plateaued.
Yeah, and she needs to grow as a character and as a wrestler a bit. And I think this is the chance.
This is the
let her have
time.
the next match, write her off TV for a month, and then let her come back.
Yeah, agreed. Next we got, would you call it a match between Natalia and Ria Ripley?
No, because I knew right away as soon as the match started, this was my whole thought process. I'll give it to you.
They're already running long.
As fast as I didn't even care about running long. This is as fast as I could give this conversation. The reason that they picked Natalia is because this is me telling Danny is because when they don't have someone to fight for a title, it's the easiest person to shoe in because she trains all of them, so she knows how all of them are gonna wrestle. So it's so easy for them to have a quick, easy, safe match with her and just get it over with. And whenever Natalia's in a match, she's not gonna win. So it's an easy get in, get out. I'm like, this is going to be an absolute squash match. And lo and behold, it was an absolute squash match.
And happy birthday, Natalia.
Yeah, right. I she gets squashed. Anyway, that's funny. Anyway, I want to say
Putty
this.
loves her.
I don't know why I like Natalia. But here's my thing. I want to bring up the whole thing with Dominique Mystique because I hated
Dominique Mystique.
Sorry, Dominique. Mysterio. Sorry, what is Mystique? Anyway, Dominique Mysterio.
That's his creative wrestler for
exactly.
Dominique Mystique.
It's half woman, half Mystique.
I've always hated Dominique Mysterio's like whole character. You know what I mean? Like when he was with his dad, everything. It always rubbed me the wrong way. For some reason, even though I hate his character, it fits him so well to be like Rhea Ripley's like bitch or whatever you want to call it,
like dipshit heel.
But he was a little dipshit before. Just we were stuck getting forced to watch him with Rey Mysterio, so it was hard to call him a little dipshit. But now you can.
You won't be too happy because there's talks he's winning the Money in the Bank this year.
Yeah, I heard big time rumors. It's
I don't. Oh, see, here's my thing.
Him Drew McIntyre, or Cody Rhodes are like top 3.
Yeah.
Like it's the first time we're seeing the male character play the offset. Oh, I'm here to support you. I'll jump in your arms. Like that.
He's literally doing what Eddie did with him in China. This is the exact same.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but they know they're doing this. This is planned, right? You had the Viva La Raza entrance at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is all planned out.
Just like Eddie used to call China Mamacita, he's calling Rhea Ripley Mommy.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
This is all going to go in the same direction as that.
It's funny too because of the.
So that means Rhea Ripley's going to win the championship.
Maybe, probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
A la Masha Slamovich.
You could also have. You could also have it go to the other angle that we thought it was going to be before, where he's going to be like, "I am Eddie's son" or something like that. You know. Maybe
I wish Eddie were my father.
Guerrero. Maybe they'll sign Vicky Guerrero and elevate this storyline even more.
Yeah, we pretty much raised you. You know, we kind of. I could see that. Like you said, it was a squash match. It was like the only thing I didn't understand was I knew something was up because Dominic was still on the ring apron when they rang the bell. Usually they wait for the guy to get off the ring apron before the match starts. He was still on the apron. And Natalia was distracted and the bell rang. Usually the bell doesn't ring until both of the combatants are facing each other. So I knew something was up right away at that point. But enough on that match. We've talked more about the match, and the actual match was long. It was a minute long. But we're going on to...
It's funny. We talked about that match longer in the match. Anyway, I just had to add that in.
We're going on to what they called the co-main event. But like... Why would you call Rhea Ripley a main event and not the Asuka Bianca Belair? This whole card was a main event.
Yeah, basically.
But Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes.
A really good match.
Okay. I've got to say this real quick. Okay,
I'm kind of on the fence. I can't agree with that. We got 6 minutes of a Kimura lock,
and I'm going to say this right now.
Yeah, but okay, go, Putty. Hurry up. You have 6 minutes.
Well, no. Here's my thing. This does not make freaking sense, right? They literally gave him a legal freaking weapon by having a titanium cast on him. Like, that didn't make any sense altogether. Like, that should have been disqualification. Like, he should have had something else softer on there. Like that whole ploy.
That's Cowboy Bob Orton style.
His arm is also not broken.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying my point. The whole thing is, I'm like, it's such an easy route to make him. I don't know. It's just weird.
That would have
I'm
been a
kinda on
heel
JD's side.
tactic, and they don't want Rhodes is your biggest baby face right now, and you don't want to do heel tactics.
I get that,
Either way,
I think you should have
regardless
come
of
out
how
to the
you
song
feel about this
Titanium
match,
by Sia. I
never.
am titanium.
No matter how you feel about the quality of this match, the storytelling of it is great.
Yeah, Cody's selling was fantastic in this.
And we're continuing this story, and it makes
There's
sense.
your third
now.
match, Campbell. There's your third match.
And it makes sense now. Oh, you broke my arm. Oh, you beat me because of my broken arm. And now I will overcome you in the third match. That will probably be like a pit match or like something like that.
Yeah, cage match. Or some sort of gimmick match.
Some sort of gimmick match.
Yeah. But I mean, yes and no. Like, I mean, this could have gone a little shorter. I would have rather had Brock just squash him. But then again, like you said, it wouldn't have told the proper story.
I'm reserving my judgment for a second.
Okay. All right.
Here's my. I'm going to bring some. We're going to next match. I've also noticed too. Brock Lesnar. I've noticed that he's really not in a lot of matches unless they're going somewhere else where
they want to put butts in seats.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, not even just that. Here's my thing. I've noticed this as well. When they go to other countries, they have to always have at least one match with a really big man, so they can be like, "Hey, listen, we have these monsters that work at this company or that are wrestlers or company. We're going to another country. It's not had us here in like 10, 15 years. We got to have one massive dude so the fans are like, oh my God, he's huge." And I feel like that's what Brock Lesnar was tonight. I feel like he was that, oh, look, he's huge kind of guy because he came out and people were like, oh my God. So it's like, that's what I feel like Brock Lesnar and Omos and all of them are just there for those events. When those big events come
you put Brock Lesnar on the card, you're gonna sell tickets.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So I think that's what it is too. I'm surprised Omos was not on the card. Like that meme you sent me, Campo. Omos versus Omos, and
a fatal
that was a good one. Vince's fantasy booking.
That is
Omos versus Omos.
It's a 4-way tag match with Omos and Omos versus Omos and Omos versus Omos and Omos versus Omos and Omos.
Oh, so it's a fatal
that's Vince's fantasy right there. So with that, we are going. So the match was moving at the show was moving at a good pace at this point, and I see there's still an hour left on the show. They went 40 minutes before the next match started.
Yeah,
I skipped. Yeah.
Between the first match between Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch was also like a 20-minute gap.
Yeah, gap.
I went outside.
This one was
I smoked
long.
a cigarette. I made a drink. Like I sat down. I went to the
long.
bathroom. Yeah, they were the only ones.
And
that
their
didn't
intro
have
was long too.
Before Rhea Ripley match and after Rhea Ripley match were the only ones that didn't have a big gap.
Yeah, but so they come out. We get Solo Sikoa. We get Paul Heyman. We get the whole bloodline thing. We get, which is because obviously the challenger should be coming out first. That's the way it should be, even though usually if Roman comes out last. And then we get Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, I believe he cuts a promo in Arabic and Farsi. And the crowd got like totally behind him for that.
He cried on his walk to the ring.
Yeah.
And that's fine because he's never. It's crazy that through all the like diplomatic relations between his country and that country, and then the fans still cheered him like that. I think he didn't expect that really.
Yeah,
he didn't know it was going to go.
So for those who don't know, Sami Zayn is Syrian, and the Syrians and the Saudis don't really get along that well. This is not a political show, so we don't care. We just want good wrestling, and this was good wrestling. This was a great story. I mean, for the second half, the first half was.
This is probably my worst match of the night.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was way too long.
It was 30 minutes.
For the first 20 minutes of this match, nothing happened. There was 10 minutes of literally just tagging each other in and like someone going out of the ring and everyone staring at them.
The first 10 minutes was a 2-on-1 basically of Zayn and Owens against Solo Sikoa because Roman was just on the outside for the whole time.
Yeah, but when the wrestling actually started, it was a 2-on-1. There was like 6 minutes of just tagging each other in and out and nobody actually wrestling.
Yeah.
But I will say, is outside of that little slowness before, as far as the whole bloodline situation, I've been very disappointed on the way it's going. The Sami Zayn storyline has been the only good part about this, and now that it's come to fruition and the whole Usos thing, and like now that this story is actually starting to bloodline starting to break apart, I'm actually a little more interested.
It's coming full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want this because I want to know where are they going to go, because bloodline has been such a integral part of WWE now, and it's like, it's like there's now when we go talk about storylines, we're like NWO bloodline, like it's now there that where are they going to go? You know what I mean? Like I'm excited.
Well, I know where they're going to go, because shout out to me, because I called every single thing that happens in this match spot on.
Exactly. And when I saw that ref bump, I thought, holy shit, here we go. And I honestly thought, like, I saw the ref bump and I thought, okay, typical Roman Reigns finish, and that's your Roman Reigns finish. Like, ref bump.
He's going to win the titles
outside, and he wins outside interference, and he wins the titles. We do get outside interference. The Usos come in, they super kick Zayn, they super kick Owens. They're like out, like they're both out, and then they lift Sami Zayn up, and Solo's holding him. And as soon as they go for the double super kick again, Zayn ducks, and they super kick Solo, and I thought they murdered him, because we did not see Solo move for another 5-10 minutes.
And then of course Roman Reigns, that was the one thing that Roman Reigns witnessed, and he got mad.
Mad. And he said
that was kind of a little baloney. It's like, oh, that's the only thing you saw.
Like, and he said something to him like, you'll never be part, like you were never part of something, or I can't remember.
You were never really in the bloodline or whatever. Who cares? It was a great storytelling moment. The end of the last 5 minutes of this actual match was fantastic.
Yeah. It mirrored in a way what happened at the end of the Royal Rumble, where Sami Zayn didn't want to hit Kevin with the chair, so he hits Roman instead. So same idea happened with the Usos. Like, he basically face washes Jey Uso, and Jimmy just comes out and super kicks Roman. And like literally
excellent.
I love that moment.
He says, I'm going to do what you should have done a long time ago.
I love that. Yep. And I love that he does it.
Because the way the bloodline started, it was Roman and Jey to begin with.
And now you have a built-in feud. Listen, if I had to book this, I would have a call out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, call out the Usos, call them to the ring. Begrudgingly, the Usos don't want to do whatever they're going to do, and Sami Zayn and Thing just drop the SmackDown tag titles on the belt and walk away. I mean, on the mat, and walk away and leave them. Your guys can be the tag team champions on SmackDown. We don't want this. You helped us. Just take the belts. We don't want them. And you move on from it. Yeah,
they stay on SmackDown, and that works. I like that idea.
Because then you already have a built-in feud now between the Usos and the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're going to have the Paul Heyman solo turn on Roman Reigns.
Reigns. And that's coming too. So I like where this is going. It's good storytelling. It makes sense now in a way that Cody didn't win the championship. But again, they could have split the belts.
Yeah, right? They could have. And it's fine. This was not actually the worst match of the night. The worst match of the night was definitely the Rhea Ripley match, because nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
But I mean,
because I wouldn't even call that a match.
But it's like WWE has this thing, and shout out to Jeremy if you ever watch this. He's very keen on the idea that WWE gives zero fucks about the quality of their match. All they care about is the finish and what happens after the match. And we got that here. I mean, mind you, the match was still good when it actually got going. But all that really mattered, no one's going to remember this match, period.
But they're going to remember what's going to happen after.
Yeah.
And that's where WWE shines. WWE shines in their storytelling through their matches. Whereas some companies, it's the matches are the story. You know what I mean?
And they needed this so badly, because that storyline got so stale. Like, in my opinion, I'm starting to get so bored of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn already. What this revitalized that whole thing, where I was like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I was feeling the same way too. And I
literally thought there was a promo at the beginning of the show too, where Zayn is talking and Owens is like yelling at him and getting pissed off at him. Like, what? You're already teasing a breakup between these two?
No, they can't.
No.
Well, here's my thing though.
Sorry.
I feel like tonight, the reason why it felt like I felt the same way. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens kind of get boring now to me. But at the same time, this revitalized it for another reason. With this being Sami Zayn's home country, and them defending the belts against like Roman Reigns, everything just seemed to fit. Like I didn't even know it until he came out in the outfit. I'm like, oh, he must be from here, and then it all made sense to me. Like, okay, this is clicking, and it actually works with all of it. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to look bad in his own country. Everything was going to fit together, and it became an entertaining thing. But I will admit, it's slow and for Roman Reigns being this head of the table, I know they used to prop him up as like, ooh, I can do anything and not have to cheat. Now,
but it was a nice visual. Like Solo got pinned for the first time ever on the main roster, and to see Owens and Zayn finally standing tall over Roman was a great sight to finish off the show.
Yep.
So with that, Putty, why don't you give it the score first? What was your score on this one?
Okay, so this was kind of hard, but I actually still enjoyed it. So I'm gonna say like a 7.8.
Okay, that's fair, very fair. Campo, what'd you give this one?
7. What did Putty give it?
7.8.
7.9.
And I'm right there with Putty. It was a 7.8. So I mean, we're all in consensus. This was a really good show. I had a lot of fun. It did exactly what we expected it to do. And even though it was kind of predictable with a few different outcomes that we did not expect, it was still a very good show and a very good production by WWE. So, guys, with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. So, just to let you guys know, tomorrow will be our review of Impact's Under Siege. And then on Wednesday, we will have our recap of New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors. The review for Double or Nothing will be coming out next Monday because I have a full-time job and I need to sleep sometimes. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye and good night.